Hello everyone, and welcome to a brief overview of how to multiply complex numbers. So I wrote out several steps here. You start by multiplying using the distributive property. Change any I squareds that you see into -1. Combine the like terms. And then make sure it's in the format that they've asked for. This is the general format for a complex number, and you may recall that a complex number is a number that has a real part, A, plus an imaginary part, B. And we always write it in this format, A plus BI. You can have a minus sign here if B is negative, so that is allowed. So let's take a look at some examples of this. So in letter A down here, I have 2i times 3 minus 5i. So I'm going to do 2i times 3, which is 6i, and then 2i times -5, which is -10, and I times I is I squared. So that's part one. Now for step 2, you have to change I squared into -1. All that does is you cross out the I squared and change the sign in front of it. Okay, I don't have any like terms to combine because I only have a 6i and a plus 10. So all I have to do is write it in the right order. So positive 10 comes first, and then plus 6i because the 6i was positive. And that's the answer. So let me show you an example where I have two binomials multiplied together. Again, I'm going to use the distributive property. 5 times 4 is 20, and 5 times -3i is -15i. Now I'll do the 6i. -6i times 4 is -24i, and -6i times -3 is +18i squared. Now, for step 2, I change the I squared into a -1 by putting a negative sign here. Step 3, I'm going to combine like terms. So I have 20 minus 18 is 2, and -15 minus 24 is -39i. These were like terms because they both have the i's on them, and the 20 and the 18 were both plain numbers. So I got 2 minus 39i. Okay, now it's tempting to say, oh, look, we've done each type of example, we're done. But I want to show you example C for a very specific reason. This is a difference of two squares. We can tell that because they're exactly the same except for the sign in between. So you have binomials with different signs, and everything else is exactly the same. The way we multiply a difference of two squares, if you know your special pattern, you square the first term, so that's 49. You square the last term, that's 4i squared, and then you write a minus sign in between. That's the special pattern. Now, if you don't remember your special pattern, I do suggest learning it because we use it often, but you can still just do your distributive property, and when you combine your like terms, you will get this. Now, all I need to do is change my I squared into -1 and then combine. 49 plus 4 is 53, and that's my answer. Okay, now for the last one I have here, 6i times 6i. So when you multiply this, you get 6 times 6 is 36, and I times I is I squared. Now all I do, I cross out my I squared and write a negative sign in front. So my answer here is -36, and that's my answer. So that's the overview on how to multiply complex numbers. Please let me know if you have any questions.